Okay, so my favorite sport is paintball, and my claim today is that paintball is one of the most popular sports around. And by what I mean, most popular sports around, it's paintball is the #3 sport in the world and quickly climbing. First, let me explain some factual testimony. According to Empire Paintball, a top-of-the-line paintball supplier, says that paintball is popular because it is an alternative pastime from the usual athletic games and has become one of the most exciting sports in the world. Anyone can play paintball regardless of sex, age, or gender. On the field, everyone is equal. There is no need to be an athlete or to have any experience to enjoy the game. Second, I would like to present some statistics that I thought show how paintball is topping most sports. According to American sports data, paintball is the #1 extreme sport in the United States with 9.97 million participants. Is the fastest growing extreme sport in the United States with 44% growth from 2001 to 2006. Paintball has recently moved ahead to the 3rd largest sport. Their study concluded that more than 10,357,000 people played paintball at least one time in 2006, and that 1,891,000 play at least 15 times per year. Lastly, I would like to end with an example which paintball is quickly becoming the top sport. Tim Duncan, a professional basketball player who currently plays for the San Antonio Spurs for the NBA. He's a 4-time NBA champion, 2-time NBA MVP, 3-time NBA Finals MVP, and NBA Rookie of the Year, is a bit of a paintball player. According to socialpaintball.com, Sports Illustrated mentioned in a spread he was featured in that he once even invited a bunch of teammates to a paintball course. Along with what I said before, paintball is a very stimulating and exciting sport, which is why it is one of the most popular sports around.
All right. Well, the subject area is fine, and the idea that it's it's the fastest growing sport. That's okay. We don't really get much comparison to the other sports. You mentioned 2 or 3 times that's the #3 sport, and I immediately started thinking, okay, well, what's #1? What's #2? And by how much more are they #1 and #2? For example, if paintball is played by 10 million people each year and basketball is played by 70 million people, then that's a big jump between those two things. I just don't know. And I thought that was just one of those things that popped in my head. I immediately wanted to know when you made that statement. I thought that the statistical information in the example were very clearly cited, that they fit there appropriately. You had good source citations on those things. The testimony stuff, you kind of, you called it factual testimony, and I wasn't sure which category you wanted it to go into. It doesn't really sound like factual data to me. It does sound more like it's a piece of testimony, so that's ultimately where I put it. And again, you had a very clear source citation on that, so everything is solid there. I thought that the speech flowed pretty smoothly and all the information was structured well. The delivery, I think you could be a little bit more, enthusiastic about the subject with your voice. Nothing was bad, and it sounded fine, but you seem to be, an enthusiast, so, a little more energy there. And you have a tendency, there's the opposite effect. You're standing in the one spot, and it's almost as if you're standing as far back as you can get from us, almost to get to the board. So you want to be careful about doing that. That makes it look a little bit awkward. And then there's some reading that goes on, a lot more reading than you probably want to have at this point. All right, thank you.